All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Correct Me If I'm Wrong. I'm glad you just listened to our freaking intro song. I was out of breath. I did that in one breath.
That was pretty good.
All right, guys. So today's topic, it's a lovely either Tuesday or Thursday, so I'm not too sure when this is posted. But today's topic of the day is at one time you were sitting either in a classroom or at home, or you were out and about on the playground, or heck, maybe you're 24 years old and you were out in the bar. But at one point, you
No
saw
judgment.
your very first crush. So that is today's topic. We're going to talk about our first crush. And today we are going to start with Mesa Lou.
Oh man, I knew this was coming.
Nice.
Every time. Man. Okay, I do remember my first crush. My first crush was in, I would say 5th grade. Yeah, 5th grade.
Young.
Yeah. I was in 5th grade. I had an absolute crush on this girl. Her name was Myra. We went to school together at, we were intermediate was the school, right? And I was absolutely head over heels for this girl, which I thought, obviously, because I'm in 5th grade and I didn't know what love is, right?
That is true. She's the one.
She's the one. And it's so funny because this was the time before cell phones, obviously. Like, so you had to like call and like make sure they were at the phone at that point. And my mom hated her. My mom hated this girl. Could not stand this girl. So whenever she would call, I'd have to like be at the phone at a specific time to make sure I picked up and no one else picked up. So that was always super. I'm like, oh my God, here she's calling. Hello? And then she was actually, I don't know if you would call it my first kiss, but she did kiss me on my cheek when I was in 5th grade.
That's beautiful.
Yes, we were in, we were watching a movie in some kind of class and we were like writing notes back and forth. And she's like, hey, asked to go to the restroom. And I was like, can I go to the restroom? And 2 minutes later, she goes to the restroom. And there in the hallway, she gives me my first kiss on the cheek.
That's the most beautiful story I've ever heard you say. And that, ladies and gentlemen, started the mini.
Oh, it did. It was a real problem.
So Nay, why do you say that was young?
5th grade?
Yeah.
Because he's young. He's a baby.
Oh.
5th graders are babies.
So how old were you whenever you had your first crush?
I was a 7th grader. At least I think it was 7th grade. I don't know. But I will not say names because you never know. Friends. They could
Was it
be
Myra's going to be like, hello, Mesa Lou.
They could be
I don't even know
listening.
where this girl's at anymore.
They could be listening, or friends of friends could be listening, and it gets back to this person because this person never knew I actually had a crush on them.
Now
But-
you have to say it.
No way, no way.
I
No way.
dare you, chicken.
No way.
$5.
No way.
$20.
No way.
$50.
That's embarrassing because he never knew.
$1,000.
Me and my friend used to just talk about him all the time. You know, he would play football, and I don't know. We just always talked about him at the libraries, and we talked about him all the time. Like we kind of, I guess, both had a crush on him, and yeah. I never went anywhere. It never went anywhere.
You never tried
At
to talk
one
to him,
point,
or-
I think in high school, he actually tried to talk to me, but at that point, I had a boyfriend, so it was too late. And that's how it went.
That was beautiful as well.
Wait, how can you say if it was too late if like he didn't even know?
I know, right? Never confess your true love.
Yeah, wait.
Yeah, I think he tried to like ask about me. I just remember him trying to ask about me, but it was too late. I already had a boyfriend, so.
What's his name so I can tell him?
He's still out
He
there.
missed out.
My story. So it was 1st grade. No, I
First
actually got a
grade?
story to tell you, then I'll get into my story. So it was like 1st or 2nd grade, and I hung out with this guy named Albert, right? Name dropping here, but he was a really good friend of mine back in 1st grade or 2nd grade. And we were at the playground, right? Let me finish the story before you guys are assuming.
I was like, you and Albert were close, huh?
Anyways, you know, he was a good friend of mine, and I remember being like at the top, like, because we had like the playground with all the slides or whatever. And we're like chilling, and like, he's with this girl. Okay, so he's over there, and I'm like waiting for him, like, come on, bro, let's go, right? He's like, all right, be there 1 second, right? And I turned and I saw them kiss, and I remember being like, what's happening? Like, why you good girls have goodies, right? I just remember like almost like mentally freaking out like in 1st grade, like, what are you doing? We're just supposed to go play football. So yeah, I remember that little story. Anyways, So mine was also in 5th grade, which is so funny.
That's funny.
Crazy.
I saw a girl and I remember thinking, like, my God, this girl's like so like absolutely gorgeous, right? And yeah, nothing ever. I don't have a cool story other than that. I was remember sitting there. But what's funny is like
Aw.
I remember a lot of guys liking her. Like Devin actually, I'm ruining his story already, but Devin actually had a really big crush on her as well. So we had like basically the exact same crush.
Oh, that's crazy.
And I remember so in Big Spring, it went 1st to 4th. You were at a specific school.
Okay.
In 5th grade, they basically combined all the schools, and now you're into this one school. So the class I was in, I knew nobody. Right? It was people from, and they knew each other, but I didn't know anybody in my class.
Huh.
So everybody was new, and then I saw this girl, and I was like, "Oh my God, you're absolutely gorgeous!" And I hear these guys kind of talking to her, like saying, "Like, are you gonna ask her out this year?" "Yeah, I think I'm gonna ask her out." And I was like, "My God, this girl, like, she's like, everybody wants her." So yeah, that's my story.
That's funny.
You didn't take your shot?
I didn't take my shot, bro. You know, I was a young one. I
Man,
was
you
a
needed me there,
youngin'.
buddy. You needed me there to push you.
Yeah,
Buddy,
that's true.
are we talking about the same girl? You talking about when we had that conversation
Yes.
early in the podcast?
Well, early in the podcast.
I think we briefly talked
briefly, we talked about we liked that same. I liked the same girl as you, but I never told you.
Yeah,
And it's like-
that same girl.
But yeah, that was my first one too. Back when I was 10, and it was crazy. She was my neighbor. She lived like a couple of houses down.
You missed out.
So what happened was,
And if she's listening to this, she obviously knows she was your neighbor.
Now,
And
She'll
now
know.
it's complete circled back to me
Yep.
because I said it was the same girl.
yeah,
So our lives are ruined.
it's okay. But yeah, I was just walking down the streets like, woohoo, perfect day. And I just saw her. I was like, oh my gosh. And they invited me over to play her and her cousin or whatever. And I was just like,
He
oh my
missed
God.
his shot.
I was just like, I struck, or like, was it Starstruck? Not
Uh-huh.
Starstruck, but like,
Starstruck is
no,
like a celebrity, but
no,
I,
like, that's you know what
yeah,
I mean.
you
And
were
so,
got you.
love
I-
at
I-
first sight.
I was very similar to Patrick. You know, I saw her at school. I talked to her, and she was cool. We had a conversation. But I kind of did get a shot because what I did was senior year, asked her, okay, hey, you want to go to homecoming with me?
Oh,
Okay.
I did. But she did tell me, I'm sorry, I'm going with this other guy. But I mean, I guess we can all three go because I was in the football team. We were both on the football team. And she was just walking. She was running for homecoming queen, or whatever. And so she was on the field. So what she did was, you know, she got us. She got me and the other guy garters. Then we got her both mums. So yeah, I got that.
interesting. So do you think, this is circling back to another episode.
Okay.
Do you think that your standards are because of that girl?
Oh my God, dude, this is a therapy lesson. That is an amazing connection. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Right. That's what I'm here for, bud. I'm a good friend.
I never thought about that.
But does that explain a lot?
That explains so much, actually. Even though she doesn't.
Does she fall
She
into
fits
that?
a lot of your role, except for like her length. She's kind of a tall. Like she's probably my height.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's probably hit. His
But other
height,
than
yeah.
that, she's like what? Yeah, because she was kind of like tomboyish. Because she would like a lot. I literally remember the first time I was I hung out with her, quote unquote. But like we were playing football, right? And I remember this specific moment. Actually, this was the moment I fell in love, right? Anyways, we're like outside because we still got recess. Like it was like once Fridays or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And we're outside. And we're picking teams to go play football. Now, I don't know any of these people, again, that are in my class, other than the month that I've been in this class, right? And we're picking teams or whatever, and she looks at me, and she's like, Patrick, you come be on my team. And I was like, yes. Right? I was a little fifth grader or sixth grade. I don't remember. I actually think I might have been sixth grade, actually, now that I think about it. But, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I never thought of it like that though.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. But yeah, it's kind of too late. She's getting married.
Oh,
She is getting married at
Yeah,
this
she's
point.
engaged. Yeah.
wow. Is that upsetting for anybody?
For Devin.
Yeah.
Great White Buffalo? I like it.
It's so crazy when you're young and that. Because what's funny is I remember too, like this girl, again, like it was first or second grade. And I remember all the boys would like talk about her, right? She's like, oh, she's so pretty. And like, she was like, even looking back, like I think to myself, she was like the pretty quote unquote girl at that time. But I never would have considered her like a crush because I guess like my mindset just wasn't there.
Yeah.
Like, we were like on first or second grade. So my mindset was nowhere there. But I remember all the guys talking about her or be like, oh, what do you think about her? What do you think about her? And I was like,
Oh, so you're saying like as early as like first and second
yes,
grade?
it was like first or second grade. I'm in this class and I remember
I
her
don't know how he
specifically.
remembers that.
First
Do
crush.
Yeah, do
And I
not
know for a
remember
fact,
first grade.
like I don't even think she remembers me at all. So I'm gonna name drop. But her name was Brianna.
Okay.
And I remember everyone saying, "Oh my God, have you seen Brianna? Oh my God, right?" And I remember thinking, like, yeah, like she's pretty, but like she's a girl. Right? Like my mindset like wasn't there, so like I wouldn't have named that as my first crush because I don't remember. My first crush was I remember seeing this other girl in 6th grade and be like, "My God!" Like, right? So yeah, it's crazy how that works.
Yeah, it's kind of like she's perfect. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yes, knew
Yes.
nothing
Yeah.
about her other than the 2 seconds I
Yeah.
saw her.
I definitely remember my crush a little bit more just because I feel like it wasn't so much that I was like absolutely like drawn by her looks or whatever. But like we would pass notes back and forth all day like in class and stuff, and like we were boyfriend and girlfriend even though like we weren't.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like you like held hands or whatever. And they'd be like, hey, you're like, oh shoot, like no. My mom's gonna get so mad. Like
Don't do that to me.
yeah, so that's why I think I remember like so many things with her so vividly because there were a lot of my first things like holding hands, like my first kiss on the cheek or whatever, like that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think that's why I remember a lot of that stuff so well.
I remember what's funny and it's kind of off topic, kind of, but my parents would like we weren't like allowed to date until we hit high school, I believe was what
Okay.
it was, right? So I remember before then, like girls obviously started like talk to me, right? And this is so like mean, rude to me, right? I remember this one specific girl, like we were texting back and forth or Facebooking, I don't remember what it was. And like we would talk or whatever, and like she's like, I really like you, I want you to be my boyfriend, and I was like, yeah, right, because it was fun to be on the internet and do it, right? And I remember going to school and feeling like all weird, like I don't really want this, that's kidding, right? So then I literally remember telling her like, hey, that wasn't me on Facebook yesterday. That was like my cousin. He like hacked my account.
Oh my
I'm sorry.
gosh.
Yes, I remember
That's
doing that.
so mean
That
of
is
you.
so mean of me. I get that. I was young. And my mommy said I could have a girlfriend.
That was mean, but kind of smart.
So yeah, that was kind of my play out of it. It's like I just blamed it on some imaginary creature.
Oh my gosh. That poor girl. Her little heart.
Yeah, I was the first guy to probably break up with her in like
Wow.
less than 24 hours. Yeah, it's so crazy how that works. Like when people date in high school, right? Because I remember we'd have fights all the time in high school.
Yes.
Like our high school was notorious for like fights. There was fights once a week, and it's just so crazy because you look back and it's like, man, we're like 14 years old fighting for this girl that none of us
Yeah.
talk to or see.
Anymore at all.
Yeah, at all. And it was so stupid. And it's crazy to think like if you could talk to that 14-year-old Patrick, and I'd be like, bro, who cares? Who cares? Like,
cares?
He'd be like, nah, I'm gonna love her forever.
I'm gonna marry her. We're gonna
She's
have
the
kids.
one.
She is it. There's no other girls outside of Big Spring. Yeah, so it's crazy how life does that to you.
Oh my gosh, yeah, so much. And I think I've always been like in that mindset where like I've always chased girls. It's just been for as long as I can remember. It's been like that girl's beautiful. Like I was like Devin.
You're like spoiler alert, but you're like the guy off of You, the TV show You. Oh, you haven't seen You on Netflix?
I really. I'm the one that was like, dude, you should have to show You. Nah, that seems lame. And then like a month later, it's like, have you seen You? I was like, I hate you. I can't stand you right
I forgot
now.
about that.
I can't stand you.
You're like him. You're like, ooh, new targets.
Except
Who
I'm
do
not
I
killing
have to
anybody.
Kill to get to her.
I definitely don't have that inner Dexter dialogue. Like, that's not a thing.
I do that a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Did you have like a girl like in high school or prior that had a crush on you, and then you just had to like turn them down, or am I the only?
Oh, yeah, no, that was a thing. Yeah, that was a real thing. I had one girl that followed me from a party. Yeah, she followed me from a party. I was picking up my little brother from his friend's house. I was picking him up, and I noticed that as I was turning every single turn that this car was turning the same turn. I was like, what is happening? And then I parked to pick him up, and the car flies by, super fast. And I was like, that's super weird. The car was following me the whole way. That following Monday in class, that girl's friend was like, I can't believe you ran over that cat. And I was like,
Oh my god.
what are you talking about? And I was like, I hit a cat that night. And I was like, were y'all following me? And she's like, what? Yeah, they were like full on following me. Yep, creepy. So I had to like just really, that girl scared me.
It's crazy too to think because like again we're in high school and it's we're super young and then I look at like high schoolers now, right? And like, hey, you're just a child, right?
Yeah.
But at that time, so at this time I was in a relationship most of my high school like life basically. But I remember this other girl that was in high school. Like I was madly into her, right? I remember thinking like she was awesome. She literally liked everything I liked. Like she was like literally perfect, right? But of course I had a relationship. But I was very close to this girl. Like we were actually really good friends.
Yeah.
And I remember throughout the relationship, she would like just text me stuff like, I wish me and you could be together, right?
my gosh.
But she never like it wasn't. I look back now and I realize like she was just like a player. She just like played with my emotions for some weird reason. Because like she never like acted on anything. And why I say that is my senior year we were supposed to go to prom. Right? And she ended up like just saying like, oh no, I'm not going, whatever. So then I asked someone else to prom, right? So I started going, I was literally like, we were buying stuff and everything to go to that prom. Then out of nowhere, she texted me again and she's like, will you go to prom with me? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I want to go to prom with you. And I was like, I'm already like going with this. And I remember telling my mom this. I was like, hey, like, there's this other girl that wants to go to prom with me, but I'm already going with her, but I kind of want to ditch her and go with this girl. My mom was like, don't you do that! You're not going to be that guy.
So she kept you on the hook.
Yes, that's 100% what she
kept
did.
you on the hook.
Yeah.
Have you ever kept anybody else on the hook?
Dang. I don't know. That's a good question. I probably have.
Uh-huh.
To be 100% honest, I probably have.
Yeah, me too. That's a real thing. And I don't think you realize you're keeping him on the hook.
Yeah, you don't look at it like that.
You don't look at it like that. Yeah, you're just kind of like stringing him along kind of.
Yes.
You think that you're doing the right thing by
not turning him down completely.
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
But then like there's those moments where like that person starts like kind of like the girl treated you, right? She noticed you start to wander off and you're like, whoa, where are you going?
Yeah, let me reel you back in a little bit. Yeah, no, it's 100. I remember my relationship was going perfect, and it was like, okay, we're finally not, there's no bumps in the road, and all of a sudden, here's this text. It's like, oh, it's you again. Let's go ahead and mess everything up. Why not?
Were you like at proms like, man, I could have been with her, but now I'm with you?
What's funny though? So what's funny about that is like I ended up telling her no because I'm already going with her. Blah 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 blah. Then it came out like a month. I don't remember who told me. Somebody told me, or maybe she told me. But she ended up like not going to prom. She ended up like having to go to Miami or something. I remember her going far away for some family thing.
So she would have bailed on you anyway.
Yes, and that's immediately what I thought. And that's my changing point when I thought, you've just been like playing with my emotions these past like 4 years. like you weren't planning on going to prom with me at all, you liar. So it's not funny, Nee.
Nay, have you ever kept anybody on the hook?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
How'd that go?
I mean, they're just on the hook. That's just how it goes. They're just patiently waiting for something.
For their chance, for their opportunity.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
It's kind of sad.
You look at it, you're like, man, I'm messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Especially when it happens to you. You're like,
it's
oh,
kind of
yeah.
sad, but I mean,
This is how it feels?
it's kind of sad. But I mean,
I like how you were proud of it. It's like, yeah,
Yeah, she's
like,
no.
Have you seen
no,
me?
it's kind of sad. No, it's just kind of sad. Like it's sad. Like no, I don't do it purposely, but I don't do it purposely. Like I don't reach out, but like I get reached out, and just like I'm not mean, so I don't know.
So back then, did you know that you were keeping them on the hook?
Like, were you aware of what you were doing?
Exactly.
And that it was wrong?
No. I mean, it's just that it's the part of being nice, and you don't want to completely shut it out. It's so weird.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's funny because as you get older, as I get older, as I got older, you hear that? Did you
Yep.
get older?
Gave me chills. I didn't like it.
As I got older, you start to realize like that's a thing, right? So I remember I was talking to this one girl, and this was after high school. I think I was in college already at this point. And I was talking to this girl, and we were starting to get close, and we were starting to get really good friends, and like I was really into her, and I felt like she was really into me. But she started showing those signs where I was like, okay, but at the same time, she was going out with like these dates with this other guy. I remember her being very hooked on this other guy, and they were basically on and off. And so I was like, wait a sec, like hold up 1 second, right? And so basically, I was like, I'm just gonna be up front with her, right? So I told her, I was like, hey, listen, you know what? I like you, and you like me. Like, let's date or whatever. Let's do that weird thing that people do. Let's become daters. Anyways, and I remember her specifically sending me a text back. I did it all over text because that's all smooth I am. A text back, and she said, Patrick, you are not boyfriend material, and you will never be boyfriend material.
Oh my god!
I literally remember her telling me that and be like, what? I was like, guys, so you just strung me along this whole entire time. And what's so crazy, like, she told me that, and that obviously like ruined a lot, right?
Yeah.
'Cause I'm not gonna keep chasing it. I'm not gonna wait.
Of course.
All right, and then I guess again, her and this dude were back and forth, and finally it was like done. And I remember her texting me a lot at this point, right? And she like apologized for what she said, and she was like, "I miss you. I didn't realize, like, blah blah blah." And I was like,
Yeah, he's like, I don't do second chances.
Yeah, I don't do second chances. But like, it's one of those things where it's like the reeling on a hook thing could really mess somebody up if they, if they kind of that line breaks and there's no more room to back in,
Yeah.
And
So,
like
yeah.
the thing that's crazy too is the fact that like it's like an endless circle of hooks. Like
Yes.
you're on that chick's hook. She's on some other dude's hook.
Yep.
That dude's on some other chick's hook probably, and it's just like an endless loop
Until
of
one
hooks.
one person finally decides to be honest, and they have to be honest, and that person has to be honest,
and then it just
and
goes
it finally trickles down to you, and you're the last one, and you're cut off. You're like, what? Yeah.
So do you think girls put guys on the hook more than guys put girls on the hook? Because it seems like I don't think I really put anyone on the hook. I'll probably not. Patrick hasn't. I don't think he said you have.
I don't know. Like, I would probably say yes, but it would have to be like, I was in high school, if not little, so it's not anything I could
purposely. He didn't purposely.
Yes, and I definitely didn't purposely do it. It would never. But like now that you mention it, like, hey, this is what it would happen. I probably did.
It's probably
because
like
just like
being
with
nice.
that girl I talked about a while ago, where I was talking to her on
the
Facebook.
girl that-
Yes, and we became boyfriend and girlfriend. I was like, I'm just kidding. I reeled you in a little bit too far.
You hopped in the boat.
Yeah,
and I gotta throw you back out.
So yeah, so in theory, I probably have.
Yeah, and I don't think it's so much that girls put guys on the hook more than the other. And I don't think a lot of people do it on purpose.
Yeah.
But that there are some people that absolutely do it on purpose. But I think majority of it is done completely innocently and just really kind of keeping their options open.
Mm-hmm.
And by doing that, you're really hurting people by giving people ideas that they're going to end up with you. So
I think especially when you're young, it's a lot more innocent, right?
Yeah.
'Cause I don't think you ever think about that. And then as you get older, it's more on purpose. Because I think as adults, a lot of girls will just, like we've talked about it, will just like ghost you, right? It's like, oh man, this is coming a little too far. Like, this is not what I want, and you're ghosted. Especially with social media, it allows you to block message, right? So they cut that off pretty quick, which is blunt. So I think if you're doing it at an older age, you're like 20 something and older. At this point, you're probably doing it purposely because you're wanting to do that. You're needing this plan B, plan C, plan D, and you're kind of reeling them. You're kind of just keeping them there. So I think as you're younger, when you're in high school, you don't think about it that way. You're just like, I want to be nice. Like, I'm not trying to break anybody heart. I just want to be friends.
Yeah, about being nice.
yeah.
Basically,
But I think it's half and half. Girls do it just as much as boys do it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Girls are mean.
I know.
No.
Girls have cooties.
I don't know.
Girls do
man.
have cooties. Let's be real. My mom says 1 out of every 4 women have cooties.
That might be a real stat, actually. It might not be called cooties, but